It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
And also we have the Merman, who is none too happy that Top Gun Maverick has now had its release date pushed back to late May of 2022.
What the hell?
How you dealing with that, Mer?
I'm going home.
All right. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Oh, well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please support us and the growing Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. All members get special episodes and content only for members. And all members that sign up will get a special limited edition Film Rage merch item. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see it. And you know what? We'll watch it. Shout out to our U.S. listeners again. They're just crushing these Canadians. It's almost like the Olympics all over again. We're just so relegated to the B side.
That's us.
It's true.
Bronze medal.
It's true. It's true.
Movies are back at Canyon Meadows Cinemas. We are open for your viewing pleasure with great new films opening weekly. All health-regulated protocols are in effect for a safe and enjoyable experience. And don't forget, we should be your first choice for your next birthday party or special event. Can't make it to the cinema? We got you covered. Order concessions from our online store, and you can either choose curbside pickup or get them delivered via Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, or DoorDash. For more details, go to canyonmeadowscinema.ca. Here at CMC, we would like to thank you for your continued support, and we are looking forward to seeing you at the movies.
The dance.
Streaming. What?
We're streaming, Jim.
Streaming.
Alright. So, we streamed something on Netflix. In English, it's called The Trip. I don't remember what it's called. Where's it from?
Norway.
I don't know what it was called in Norwegian. The Trip is the story of a couple, Lars and Lisa, whose plans to kill each other at Lars's father's cabin are interrupted by some uninvited guests. Lots of humor, lots of violence, and more gore than I was expecting, made for quite the enjoyable journey. The film rolls along with some effective bloody slapstick and some razor-sharp dialogue. Both Noomi Rapace and Askell Henny are fantastic as Lisa and Lars, but it is Nils Oftebro that steals this movie as he plays Lars's father. The moment he arrives at the cabin towards the end of the flick sets us on one of the more enjoyable flashbacks of any film that I have seen in a while. It is 5 minutes of laugh-out-loud moments as he escapes his retirement home and makes his way to the cabin. The Trip was on its way to being Mondo anyways, but as soon as Lars' father hit the screen, there was no other way to rate this movie. The Trip was a violent, blood-soaked, hilarious movie. The Trip was Mondo.
Oh, snap. Mer, I think we should let the Norwegian go next.
Well, thank you. Danke. Well, this is quite a treat because we may actually all agree on this. I have to thank Jim for this little nugget because I never would even thought to look for it on Netflix if he hadn't mentioned it. Then when I found out, it was by the guy who did Dead Snow.
Yes.
That's all I needed to know. And it was in Norwegian. Although, you'll be proud of me, Jim. I actually figured out on my Netflix settings how, because it was the English dub version again, like I did with John Claude. I'm like, what the hell's up with this? So I went and checked the audio settings and switched to the original language. So I actually got it in Norwegian.
Nice.
With subtitles.
The way it was meant.
The way it was
be.
intended. That's right.
Yep.
Well, what else can we expect from the makers of my favorite Nazi zombie film, Dead Snow? Gratuitous violence? Check. Inappropriate toilet humor? Check. Evil Nazi? Jawohl. And it's Norwegian, so you know I was going to love it. Throw in Scandinavian comedian Nomi Ripace, and it was a bloody good time. Mondo.
Nice. Oh, Norway, how I love you so.
As do I.
And not just because they provided us Murray.
That's right.
No one does tension like Tommy Wirkola, be it with Nazi zombies or Nazi prison breakers. Wait a minute. Is there a theme here? Is there Nazis in every single one of his movies? I guess we'll have to go back and find out. This film was so original in its content, and you never knew what was going to happen. The fight scenes are probably some of the best action fight scenes ever by a wife and husband and convict together in one scene. I was just like, I want more of this. And here I thought the ref had good fight scenes. I ain't seen nothing yet. Some great gore, some amazing comedy. This has all the fun and over-the-top everything that we expect from Tommy, and he delivers every single time. Who knew there was a heist film that I would actually like? And damn, they threw everything in this film, like almost like salt on an open wound. Hell, they even actually threw throwing salt on an open wound into this movie. And motherfucking sexist Norwegian grandpa who kicks motherfucking ass, as Bryce had alluded to, really put the Norwegian cake icing on this delicious film. Oh, did I happen to mention that the music was incredible? This Norwegian gem of murder and mayhem was Mondo.
Awesome. All right, here we go.
Mondo! A rare occurrence.
How often do we do that?
You know, if we've all given it a Mondo, our listeners have to realize how great this movie is.
Exactly. Something for everyone.
Yep.
All right. We did go to the theater, though, too.
Yes, we did.
Double feature on a Friday.
I have a feeling we're not going to get 3 Mondos out of this one.
No.
You might get one.
You think so?
I hope not.
That will make me sad.
Prepare to be sad.
Oh, it's me. I just saw that. You let me intro this piece of crap? All
Yes.
right.
I want to make a sandwich, if you know what I'm saying.
And it's in French, too. Awesome. King Charles VI declared... The Last Duel with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. The King Charles VI declares that knight Jean de Caroget, whatever,
Yes.
settled his dispute
Perfect
with
French.
the squire by challenging... Actually, that is not accurate. It was his idea, not the king's idea. The king wanted him to settle it otherwise, but he had to have a duel with Adam
But
Driver.
he did allow it. He had to
allowed
allow it.
He allowed it, but it wasn't his idea. Anyway, yeah, directed by Ridley Scott. And Matt Damon and Adam Driver and Jodie Comer from, what the hell was that show she's in? Killing Eve or something like that. She was also in Free Guy. Yeah, okay. Let's start off with a bang here. I hate Ben Affleck. So why the hell would I go to one of his movies? For one, I only saw him in one small scene in the trailer. I mistakenly assumed he wasn't in it that much. Wrong.
He was not in it enough.
I was also unaware that he and Damon co-wrote the script, or I would have stayed far away from this film.
Looks like they're
But
in line for another Academy
I
Award.
do love my historical sword fighting movies. so I was dragged to this 2.5-hour turd burger. Okay, first off, WTF is up with Affleck dropping all the F-bombs in the movie. According to my research, yeah, I did it. The word is of Germanic Dutch origin and dates back to the 16th century.
Creative license.
This movie takes place in the 1300s. Next up, location of this film and its historical accuracy is France. The armies and soldiers and knights are all French. Leading actress is English, and the three main actors are American. They don't even attempt to butcher an accent or speak the language. I know how much Jim hates that.
Why would they?
Next up
but Murray, you forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Yet every song was in French.
That's true.
Which made complete sense.
Because the soldiers were French. The actual guys doing the fighting were all French.
They're all speaking English because whereas if we're French.
Yeah.
But they're singing in French.
Yeah.
So yeah. It makes complete
And the
makes
next
complete
up
sense,
is the
Murray.
same friggin' story told 3 times from 3 different points of view.
I know.
With very little difference.
It was very good.
Spoiler alert, in case you haven't read up on the actual events. The guy was guilty all 3 times from every point of view.
Yeah, but in
other than showcasing
different degrees of guilt.
Other than showcasing Ben Affleck's horrible lack of talent, except for when he plays a sleazy dirtbag, the point of view from Driver's character was meaningless. Middle part of this movie was pure torture for me. I did actually enjoy the first 20 minutes of the film, which was all the fighting, and the last 10 minutes of the actual duel.
The duel was
2
excellent.
hours in the middle was horrible. Major rage.
Wow.
Nice.
So
All right, Bryce.
I don't understand how are you getting the last word on every single thing we're doing here, Jim? I don't think I like this.
Well, I have the first word in the next movie we're talking about.
Yeah, but you just had the last word in the last one, and now you're going to get the last word in this one too. That's not right.
Yeah, but you got don't you want a defense? Don't you want to defend?
Well,
Ben
you're going to
Affleck's
say the
honor?
same thing. I think I need to hear what everybody's saying to defend it against everyone, because apparently you've got the same view.
Mine's not exactly the same.
No,
but it's pretty close.
Not as harsh as mine, I don't think. But all right, go ahead, Jim.
Okay, you want me to go? I'll go.
Go.
Okay. I am absolutely happy to talk about this movie. First off, I'm not sure why 2 self-indulgent spoiled brats from Hollywood thought anyone from anywhere would want to see a movie about 1300s France, but apparently the 2 completely awful acted friends for years, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, thought we should all see this.
Yes,
but
thank goodness.
Not only did we have to watch this terribly crafted script once, but 3 times. I don't know if anyone told them, but nothing in 1300s France was as clean as this film made it look. And retelling this badly written and acted script 3 times in one movie got super tired after the first time.
No.
The only thing half worth seeing in this film was Adam Driver, because he is great in everything. Ben Affleck's character was ridiculous.
I know,
and
that
so
was the
badly
point.
portrayed. Plus, sorry, did I say portrayed? I just meant he just was a terrible actor. I mean, I say fuck as much as the next person, but really switching from Latin to say fuck in the 1300s, first off, as Murray already alluded, it didn't happen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't get the attention. I got, this makes this even stupider.
It took me out of the decade, out of the time period is what it did.
Well, I never got into it because 1300s France was a cesspool of disease.
That's right.
And they made everybody look clean and happy, and even the houses were clean. There was no filth anywhere. Like, watch a Monty Python movie first before you write a terrible script that you've written for the stupid French 1300s.
Not watching a documentary. I'm watching a movie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like to watch movies
on a real event.
Like normally, Bryce likes to watch movies that are accurately portrayed, especially if it's a biopic.
No, not when they go in the complete other direction with their tongue firmly planted in cheek.
Yeah. No, it was just bad. I don't think anybody but you really thought this was tongue in cheek. So let me just talk about the fact that first off, seeing this 3 times was terrible enough. But the piece of resistance.
I was hoping we were going to get it from the King's point of view.
And Yeah, I would have
12-year-old on the throne?
I would have thrown myself on my sword if that happened.
From the king's point of view, we could have got it from the mother's point of view. That I would have enjoyed. I think they could have had at least 5 points of view.
They could have had, because everybody was part of all three perspectives.
Yeah.
But of course, the end of this film
Yes.
was the piece of resistance.
That was very good.
Because first off, a twice knighted person,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
killing machine, battling against a squire, what lasted about 2 seconds, and then a gushing inner thigh. Oh, sorry, is this tongue in cheek, Bryce? Maybe I missed this, but a gushing inner thigh wound that it just doesn't magically heal seconds after it's continually gushing blood. I'm guessing that might have been a major artery that he struck. Because even your boyfriend, Ben Affleck,
apparently it wasn't because he didn't die.
Just a flesh
because
wound.
apparently it just magically stopped bleeding
Just a
after
flesh wound.
seconds earlier. The blood was so much that Ben Affleck had to jump from the screen and say, "He's probably gonna die." Yeah.
But he
So
didn't.
only 2 has been writers that think that this script was worth telling.
Oh, because they wrote themselves as the hero. That's why.
Let alone telling it 3 times. This took 2.5 hours of my life.
Yep.
I will never forget because it made me rage so hard.
What?
And I don't hate Ben Affleck, but in this movie, he was terrible.
He was
Matt
horrible.
Damon was
He
absolutely
was hilarious.
terrible.
He was
He was
bad.
hilarious
and
in this. I
putting-
don't know what you're talking about.
He was the guy from freaking Mallrats.
I know.
In medieval times. The
It
same
was fantastic.
character.
It was so
Dude,
absurd. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're thinking this was made as a B film, but I have a feeling they thought it was more serious than that.
Oh,
I refuse to watch
did you
any
listen to
interviews
the
with them about it.
dialogue? You really think they thought it was more serious? Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, 2 spoiled brats from Hollywood writing a script about 1300s France. Like, if you really wanted to make it funny, do it more Monty Python.
Exactly.
they're
I
not
do
Monty
something in your
Python.
Or throw some jokes
I do
in.
something in your general direction.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
A
what?
big bag of rage.
So what? Sorry,
know.
I wasn't clear on this. So
Oh,
this
no,
was a rage for you?
He was a hard rage. Like,
Oh, it was like I would arm wrestle Murray for a bigger rage, is what I'm
Exactly.
saying. I actually turned to him. I have turned to him in the second time.
What
in
is
the
going
retelling.
on?
And I looked at Murray and I said, "Murray, please fucking kill me now."
I don't think
So
we
he
watched.
said-
I don't want to.
We
I
didn't
don't want to
watch the
live through
same
this.
movie.
And then
He say that.
and then they put the third one out. I went, "Oh, my
yeah.
god!" And I
Yeah,
almost threw
exact-
myself down the stairs.
Oh, yeah, no,
we were sitting at the
I
top
was
of the
rolling
stairs,
my eyes. I'm like, oh my
and
god.
that stairs looked pretty
You know what
appetizing.
it reminded me of? It reminded me of the movie Clue, which I loved. But when it came out in theaters, I went to see it 3 times to get 3 different endings. Exactly what it was. The same story and just 3 different endings. That's all it was.
Could you pick which ending you saw?
No, it's random. I actually saw the same one twice.
So you kept on going to Clue, hoping
Oh, yeah.
that you'd get.
Hell yeah. Well, tickets were like
Get all
$5.
3 endings?
They were like $5 back then, but
See,
still.
That's the
this
best.
This was worth watching just so you
Yeah.
could hear that story, Jim.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway. All right,
Yeah,
Bryce.
well, it was worth it just because me and Murray shared a moment.
We did
of
share a moment. Yes, we did.
rage.
You know what? I
Now,
mean, if you're gonna
please rebuke everything that we
Hey,
said.
Please defend
hey,
Ben Affleck.
if you're
to
gonna
us.
be a stickler for historic accuracy,
I am.
then you're not gonna enjoy this. The fact of the matter is, you're either gonna go along for the ride or you're not. I went along for the ride. The performances were tremendous. Ben Affleck's never been funnier. He was hilarious. The only person that Matt Damon wasn't fantastic. I'll give you that, but he was still good. Driver was he just engulfed
He
this thing.
ate up the screen.
He
He
was
ate up the screen.
he was if I had to choose like one person that just fit, he fit.
Yes, you really nailed the point, Bryce.
But-
is that Matt Damon didn't feel like
They
that
should
character.
have
he
cast somebody
didn't.
else.
But the
Besides-
thing is,
with Driver.
the writing made it so that it's okay. The writing made it so that Ben Affleck could be the clown. The writing was tremendous. This was funny. This had tremendous action sequences. It was all good. There was nothing bad about this.
Yeah,
I don't know. I have no
always
idea
think
what you're
of the
talking about.
the retelling of a female empowerment film where she gets raped 3 times in the movie. That's very funny.
Yeah.
I totally think
and there's one other thing that bugged me about it.
No.
Matt Damon's like twice her age. He's like in his 50s and she's like, what, 23? Like,
okay, well
that's
then
probably
now
normal
you're
for
finally
back then.
now you're getting into the accuracy of that era. So
I guess so. But.
Yeah.
So anyways, you guys got me dumbfounded. I can't believe you did not like this movie.
You're really giving this a Mondo?
I haven't given it anything yet, Murray.
Okay, tee it up.
But what I've got written down here is The Last Duel was Mondo.
Oh my freaking God.
I loved it.
I wish I still had that boo on this thing.
Yeah, where's the...
I don't
Loved
know. It's not on this panel.
Loved it.
Anyway, you can have your
Yeah.
Affleck. That'll be the last one we
Have
ever
your...
see with him.
Wait, isn't that a French line, Murray? Have your cake and eat it too?
Marie Antoinette, yeah. I'm sure that isn't accurate either.
Mondo.
Maybe.
All right.
I just know that... Yeah.
Oh, and because it was 2.5 hours long, okay, I left early.
Mondo.
After the duel. And there was still like 10 minutes left after that where I was like some kid playing in the meadow.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't need
what the
that.
hell is that crap? That's like the end of the Hunger Games. Like, what the hell?
I honestly didn't need that, but it didn't take away from the fact that the 2.5 hours of bliss that I just had, where Ben Affleck once again was fantastic.
Now,
the man can do no wrong.
If it would have been like Ridley Scott's other movie, and Matt Damon would have killed Ben Affleck, that would have made it a Mondo for me right there. Because in Gladiator, when he goes after the freaking emperor or whatever his name is, and he kills him, that made the movie.
Emperor Palpatine?
No, what the hell is his name? The Phoenix's character.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Gladiator?
Talking about
The one with Cuba Gooding Jr. and Brian Dennehy?
No, in Gladiator.
Top of the head, hardest part of the body.
The Russell Crowe
the underground boxing movie.
The Joaquin Phoenix character. Was he a emperor?
No, it was Cuba Gooding Jr. and Brian Dennehy. It was underground boxing, Gladiator.
Whatever.
That's the only Gladiator that there is.
The only thing that would have saved this movie is if you would have went after the
I
king
know
at the
of
end.
no other Gladiator. I am sorry.
Ever.
Actually, what would have made it actually maybe a meh is if Matt Damon bled out and then Adam Driver cut his head off. That would have maybe saved this movie.
Maybe.
It might have got to
Ben Affleck.
a very low meh.
Someone has to rush up to the stands and kill Ben Affleck. That had to happen.
Oh no, Ben Affleck had to live on.
That had to happen. He wasn't
live
even
on
the king.
and prosper.
He wasn't even the king. He was the king's cousin.
I know.
He was a loser.
He was fantastic.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah. So we just about missed the start of the second movie, which was.
But let's talk about a movie. I think we're going to end this with another movie. I think we all agree on.
Maybe.
I think it's a possibility. There's a greater possibility than The Last Duel. I can tell you that.
I didn't think so going in. I like, how can it not be Mondo?
I was hoping it was going to be Mondo.
And it was.
Until I found out that those two wrote it. And then, anyway, let's not talk about
What are you talking about?
I'm tired of talking about that route. Okay, so we're talking about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Halloween
is
Kills.
back, baby. With Halloween Kills.
I'll talk more about Ben Affleck later.
And then you can talk about that in My Rage. So,
I'm going to talk about it in My Rage as well.
And me.
Oh, God. Not that there's not enough Ben Affleck in the movie.
Oh, we're going further than that, baby.
Oh,
anyways,
kill me now.
Halloween Kills.
Okay, so Halloween Kills. So, Michael Myers is back.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Jamie Lee's back.
Is she?
She's back-ish.
And apparently every
Michael-
original.
Michael Myers, I gotta respect the player, man. This dude likes to take his time. His murders are so much to killing as foreplay is to sex. Nice and slow, making the moment last. Michael Myers, I love you. This has some of the most violent and graphic kills and overkills I've seen in movies for a while. This film is totally full of nostalgia with the story ideas and the whole feel. The entire time we are at the hospital, I am chanting right along with them, "Evil dies tonight! Evil dies tonight!
Where they lost
Evil
me.
dies tonight!" and pretty much laughing at every single thing that was happening. There was so much fantastic in this film, so much mayhem. I thought this film was paying huge homage to our friend Rob Jabaz and his fantastic hospital scene from The Sadness.
I'm sure that was the intent.
Absolutely. Don't get me wrong. There is a bunch of really stupid things in this film, but it seemed like it was kind of making fun of itself, unlike The Duel, including the Breakfast Club geek of the past is our super stud, Anthony Michael Hall. This comes complete with representation from LGBTQ and the Black communities. And Michael, as we know, is not a racist or a sexist. Everyone in his eyes is ripe for the killing, and everybody gets their turn. Everybody gets their turn to die. And in some of the most creative ways. I had a lot of fun watching this. Even the completely awful ending. But come on, Jamie Lee, can't you and Arnie reboot True Lies and give this franchise a rest? Your character has reached the end of its useful life.
Well, yeah,
And-
she never left the hospital.
What's
that?
One more movie coming.
What's her name?
I
What's her
know.
name? She was,
I know.
She was nowhere near the killer the whole movie. She was apparently got killed the last time, so she was in the hospital recuperating.
Well, you should go back and watch the last one. Anyway, and the way this ends, we know that there's going to be more to come.
Of course.
This gets a fun killing spree of nostalgia. Hi, Matt, for keeping me entertained nonstop, making them. And let's maybe not make them anymore. Could this be the last one?
It
I
can't
know
be the last
Michael
one.
Myers seems unstoppable. I think we
The
should
la-
pick up
the next one
where
will
the
be the last
Terrifier.
one.
What's that?
Next one will be the last one, but this was not.
Okay. Well,
They
that's
always
unfortunate.
I believe it's
Um,
already got a title, Jim. It's called Halloween Ends.
Oh, I thought it might be Halloween Kills again
No.
in 3D.
Ends.
3D.
So I think they should stop making these and start making the Terrifier 2, because that's what I've been missing in my life. Clowns.
They did make the Terrifier 2, didn't they?
It hasn't come out yet. I've been waiting for it.
Oh, I thought I saw something about it.
I know that it's supposed to be coming, but it's not here yet.
I see. That's kind of interesting. Huh.
It's coming. It's not here yet.
My turn or yours?
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'll be brief, so you can go last.
I'm not going to be... I'm going to be pretty brief, too.
I'm gonna keep it brief because I don't like slasher films.
Slasher films are awesome.
It did have my favorite 80s nerd in it, though. Anthony Michael Hall.
Yes.
Not just Breakfast Club. Also Weird Science.
I love Weird
And
Science.
a few others. 16 Candles.
Yes.
He's in both of them, wasn't he?
Yep. He was
Yep.
Pretty in
excellent
Pink as well. So there
Pretty
you
in
go,
Pink.
my favorite 80s nerd.
Was he in Pretty in Pink?
Pretty sure he was in all of them, but anyway.
I don't know that he was. He wasn't in Pretty in Pink.
No, it wasn't. It was Ducky.
Yeah.
Ducky was in
Okay,
the other
whatever.
one.
Anyway.
But
Don't cry.
16 Candles, by the way, every time it's on TV, I watch it. No matter what point it's in.
You and Harold.
Yeah. Harold. Who's Harold?
Harold and Kumar. It's his favorite movie.
Oh. It might be mine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, dum-dum.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, interesting kill scenes. There was some good gore, but same lame old story. It was a bloody meh.
It was a bloody
Nice.
mess.
And as a bonus, we had some awesomely noisy teenagers in a row who wouldn't shut the hell up. That's why
Dropping their phones.
I don't go to horror movies on Friday nights because there's too many goddamn teenagers. That's right, I'm an old person. Anyway,
You kids, get out of that Jello tree.
that's right. They can't shut up and watch the movie. They gotta talk. Anyway, your turn, Bryce.
Halloween Kills. It just should have been better than it was. I enjoyed the middle a lot. As soon as I wasn't enamored with the old mob scene in the hospital. That just was tedious.
I
Absolutely.
thought it was
tedious.
hilarious.
I just was like, ugh. And I'm sorry, you've got Will Patton and Jamie Lee Curtis. I guess you're saving them for the third installment because you've got them just laying in the hospital bed for the entire movie.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Don't advertise
This was
Jamie Lee Curtis top bill if I get to see her for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is Michael Myers all the time.
Yeah,
It was all Michael.
Yeah, no, the two that should have been the stars, well, not the stars other than Michael Myers. I mean, Michael Myers
Leading
is
characters.
always, they were
daughter.
completely underutilized. We saw too much of the daughter, Judy Greer.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just kind of annoys me, but she was fine.
Well, she won't be back in the next
I tell
one.
you, the opening I actually did like. I should go back. I think I said that I didn't. The opening was really good. I love Jim Cummings
Yep.
and everything he does. The fact he was fantastic in this as Pete McCabe. He was the one that got killed by the other guy in the flashback. The two cops
Oh,
where
okay.
Michael
Okay.
attacked and then he tried to
right.
shoot and
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was the one that got
And he
killed.
wasn't as funny as he usually is.
He
so there you
still
go.
was. He still was funny though. He had a couple of lines, but he had to really. You could see that he was like reeling it in because he just wanted to go but it didn't happen. So it was just nice to see him. Anytime I see him, it always just makes me smile a little bit. Anthony Michael Hall. It's good to see him too. There's a lot of nostalgia going on with this, which added to the enjoyment.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen the other 8 or how many there were, but apparently they brought back all the characters from the original.
they brought back
and
a
they're
lot
all
of them.
grown up now, and they're still being haunted by the guy.
Loved the whole sequence with Big John and Little John. They were
Yes.
great.
Yeah, and the
That
tall
was-
guy was Little John.
It was so good. There was a lot of like stuff in here that was like beyond what I would expect. Like so far beyond. But then you get to the hospital scene with the mob, and it's like, gah, why? It was just everybody
I liked
bought in
it.
so quickly. It was so dumb. It's like it was semi-intelligent for a lot of it, which it doesn't have to be. It's a slasher film. But that was just didn't fit with everything else. It was like it got to another pace that wasn't conducive to what was going on. Did not like it. Yeah, kill Halloween dies or what did
Evil
they say?
dies
Evil
tonight.
dies tonight,
Dies
right?
See, but they put that. I think they put the whole reason they had that whole section because it allowed Michael to relocate from locations. They needed something. They needed filler. I mean, I guess they could have had him kill everywhere along the line,
I'm
but
all-
then he would have been easier to catch.
Yeah, I'm all for over the top if it's entertaining, but I guess this was for you, that part, but that part like wrecked the movie for me. Like it completely just blindsided it because it had a lot of like the kills were fantastic. I mean, there was a lot it was a bloody good time for a lot of this, as Murray said.
The knife block
Oh.
scene was the best.
There was so
I've
much
never
good.
seen so much overkill. It was so good.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that I'm not giving this a Mondo, all because of about a 15-minute sequence that just I couldn't get past. I'm actually looking forward to the third one. I think they're going to get it right. I think we're going to get Will Patton in it. I think Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be in it. I think they're going to have major roles in it. I think that along with every scene that they had with Michael Myers was perfect. The way that they shoot him, the way that he moves. I love this art incarnation of Michael Myers. I am really, as you're not, but I'm looking forward to the third installment because I think they're going to get it right with the characters that they focus on in the third one. Because obviously, it's going to be Laurie Strode that ends this. So, meh. But I'm optimistic about Halloween ends.
Well, I guess I will say I'm kind of more optimistic after seeing this one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I fully enjoyed a lot of it. It almost got to Mondo for me too. So
the whole thing was that, it's obvious that we're going to have Will Patton in it, which is going to be great. It's obvious that we're going to have Jamie Lee Curtis in these two have to have a bigger role in the third one, do they not? They just have to.
Oh yeah, of course. Have to, yeah.
If they don't, then you're going to see this boy raging in a couple of years because I will be pissed. But right now, I am optimistic about the third installment. This one was meh. But I'm hoping that at the end of this, the third one's going to be so good that I'm going to remember this incarnation of Halloween, these 3 parts as being Mondo by the time we're all done. And you know what? It's been building. The first one was, second one was a little better, except for a little sequence there. I'm hoping the third one is just going to knock it out of the park, and it could. It
But I really hope that, and I feel the same way because I watched the first one of this Inception the night before we watched that one.
Yep.
And I felt the same thing. The one before it wasn't as good. This was much better. So it should take us on that third trip, and it should be better. So let's fingers crossed. But this was exactly what I predicted. We started with us agreeing on a movie.
Yeah,
and we ended, and then we ended it. You know what that means, Mur?
You bet.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Well. French biopics written by Hollywood elite when perfectly good films like The French Dispatch could be playing. We only need one American-French movie this year, and that movie is The French Dispatch. That is my rage this week. It was kind of the same rage as last week because I'm going to continue to rage until I get to see The French Dispatch.
Well, your weekly rage, I know, is casting people who don't speak the language or are not the same country as the character.
You guys missed
Well,
the
Which is a
point.
major rage.
But Murray, okay, so that is one of my major rages.
Yes.
But the movie that I really don't want to talk much about, The Last Duel, it didn't really matter because they were all speaking English to us as if they were speaking French, which is completely different than when they actually pretend that somebody can actually speak French with a French accent when they don't. That is a whole completely different thing. All these peoples were English-speaking actors speaking English as if it was French.
And they weren't even doing like a silly accent or anything.
No.
They were doing,
No, and I mean, it did annoy me as hell when they started singing in French because I'm like, that made no sense. That made absolutely no sense.
it was just a good time.
It was just stupid.
Rape has
just like
never
the rest
been
of the
more
movie.
enjoyable.
It was just another pancake on the top of that French crepe of a rage-filled movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want French Dispatch. That's my.
I also want French Dispatch.
This week. So I've been told.
Yeah, we'll see. Still limited release. Turn that music up, man. I'm not ready to talk. All right. My rage this week is the fact that Ben Affleck does not get the credit he deserves. The man has done it all in the film industry. Not only is he one of the finest actors of our or anybody else's generation, but he also is a tremendous writer and director. He has won not one, but 2 Academy Awards. One for writing with writing Good Will Hunting in '98, and one for the 2013 Best Picture Argo, which he just happened to be the director of. As a writer, he has shown the ability to write original content, as is the case in Good Will Hunting, and also he's shown a proficiency for adapting novels into movies, as he has shown with The Town, Gone Baby Gone, Live by Night, and The Last Duel. As a director, he has made 4 movies that were all mondo. The aforementioned Live by Night, Gone Baby Gone, The Town, and of course, Academy Award-winning Best Picture, Argo. And don't forget the depth and range he has on the screen as a performer. He showed early on his range and has produced stellar performances after stellar performances, and he has only gotten better as the years have gone by. He's been a delight in every type of character, from the sleazy Shannon from Mallrats to the naive Holden McNeil from Chasing Amy, to the Chucky or to Chucky from Good Will Hunting, to Bartleby from Dogma, to more recently as Batman and Christian Wolf from The Accountant. And of course, his latest role as Pierre in The Last Duel. I will now ask the appropriate question. What does this guy have to do to get a little respect? That is my rage.
Well, if you're asking Murray and
Didn't
I, the
sound like a
answer
rage
is
to me.
maybe.
What does he have to
Hollywood
do to
and
get
never
some
come
respect?
back.
No rage now. That was
There's
just going
total
on about
rage.
Ben Affleck.
I am pissed that everybody has the opinions that you wieners do.
Everybody, like the whole
Well,
world.
apparently not. They
Yeah.
gave him Academy Awards.
No, yeah, they
so-
gave him Academy Awards. Great directors cast him in movies. People are begging him to be in their movies.
So I'm sorry. What's your rage? Like it's
My rage
he's
is he
obviously
he doesn't get respect.
by us.
Yeah. My rage
Yeah,
is
well-
against you.
Well,
No,
too freaking bad.
Well, let me just say, I
Both
like
you
Ben
and Murray,
Affleck in Dogma.
I'm raging against.
I liked Ben Affleck in Dogma, and I liked Ben Affleck in The Accountant.
I like
and
him
then
in
I
nothing.
and then I liked Ben Affleck in Team America, and that was it. Those 3 movies.
What about Dazed and Confused?
Yeah, he was awful.
What?
Yeah,
You're supposed
he
to.
really is He's really a bad actor. I'm
Yes,
on
he
Team
is.
Murray
Oh,
here.
he is.
He may be a great producer and a great director, but he's a horrible actor.
He is a great actor.
He's a terrible writer too.
He's a
'cause
fantastic.
Did anybody
writer.
did anybody listen or hear the
Of the
entire
dialogue in
script
Good Will
of the
Hunting?
Last Duel?
You guys it went over your
Oh,
guys'
the dialogue
head.
in Good Will Hunting.
You guys didn't
Yeah.
get it.
Robin
That's
Williams
fine.
made
Yeah.
that movie.
That's fine. Sometimes you don't get stuff.
The tongue and cheekness of a woman being raped 3 times in a movie.
Nah, see,
Yeah, it's just
no.
Yeah,
See, you're
it's a little
twisting my
over
words.
head.
You're twisting my words. There had to be
Oh,
a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit. The gravity of the situation, the gravity of the content,
Mm-hmm.
made it so that they need to add a little levity in there, and it was done perfectly.
And sorry, what was the levity? Oh, right. The script was so bad it was funny. That's what we
guess
should have
that's his
noticed,
point.
Murray.
Loved it.
That it was
Loved
so bad it was
Nah.
funny.
Then I guess I missed the
You
joke. 'cause I
not,
just
you know
thought it
not
was
of what
bad.
you speak. It was fantastic.
Yep. A2 Brute.
Whatevs.
A2. There's some Latin for you.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Hey everybody, George here, host of the Best Little Horror House in Philly, the show where we talk about the best horror movie ever made, according to our guest at least. It's a real fun show where every episode I agree that the movie our guest chose is the best, and we get into where their love of horror started before discussing the movie in detail, the background, the themes, specific call-outs before ultimately summing up why it's not just good, but it's the best horror movie ever made. And we've had some incredible guests ranging from horror icons like Caroline Williams from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, Rich Sommer from Summer of '84, and Anthony DeBlasi, director of Midnight Meat Train and Last Shift, all the way to some of my favorite comedians like Neil Campbell, Jeff Dutton, Betsy Sidaro, Joe Wangert, Tim Kalpakis, and more. So listen to the Best Little Horror House in Philly wherever you podcast and ask yourself this.
What's your favorite scary movie?
And let's not forget Bryce Hollingsworth and Jim Evans.
That's
Who've
right.
been guests multiple times on his
And
podcast.
part of the reason that I wanted to make sure we promo George this week
Yeah.
is because
Is that coming up?
the Japanese Cube is coming out,
Oh, yeah.
I believe, this weekend.
There you go.
So even though we're not probably going to get to see it
No.
in cinema, hopefully we'll be able to at least see it on VOD. I'm praying that we can see it somewhere because we have an open invitation to George whenever it comes out that we can both see it, that he's coming back on our show. And it would be awesome if he could make it for our Halloween special.
You're being very optimistic that this could happen.
I would be in so much joy.
I hope it does.
You never know.
But
Yeah. George, we love you, buddy.
All right. Well, Bryce should be happy. I'm not going to be talking about Ben Affleck this week, much as I really wanted to rage. Well, not much anyway. There's plenty of rage on the minute this week, most thanks to Ben Affleck and Matt Damon's latest box office flop, The Last Duel. It's no secret how much I despise Affleck, but I'm not crazy about Damon either. His movies are pretty much hit and miss. Since I can't really go after his good movies, I'm going to focus on his biggest box office flops. And there are quite a few.
All right.
Start with Stuck on You, 2003. The Farrelly brothers.
Yeah, it was all right.
Co-starring Greg Kinnear.
funny.
Conjoined twins from Martha's Vineyard moved to Los Angeles so that one of them can pursue an acting career. One of them. They're conjoined.
I know. It's funny.
Nice.
Budget was $55 million. It made back about 2/3 of that.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the total
But it
flop,
made me
was-
laugh.
Yeah, I guess that's the important thing then. Next up, we have The Legend of Bagger Vance.
Yeah, I liked it.
2000. Robert Redford directed that one, starring Will Smith, Matt Damon, and Charlize Theron.
I know.
Down and out golfer attempts to recover his game and his life with help from a mystical caddy.
It's good.
Budget was 80 mil, and it made about 30.
But it entertained
Nice.
me.
Next up, we have Titan AE. Granted, an animated movie. Don Bluth.
Yes.
Co-starring Drew Barrymore, Bill Pullman, and John Leguizamo.
I don't like this one.
It was great.
Budget was
I don't like it.
$75 million. $75
$75 million
for a
for
cartoon?
a cartoon.
Must have been
Wow.
all that high-priced talent.
Yes.
And it grossed about 22 mil.
That is gross.
Young man learns he has to find a hidden Earth ship before an enemy alien species does in order to survive. Secure the survival of humanity. It's like a miss to me. Then we have The Great Wall. Co-starring Matt Damon and Pedro Pascal and a bunch of Chinese people.
Yeah. It was funny.
$150 million it cost.
Yeah, but it was funny.
Made back 45, and I read that they had to have over 100 interpreters
It was funny,
on
though.
the set. I don't think that was the intent.
No, but it was.
European mercenaries in China encounter a secret army that defends the Great Wall of China against a horde of murderous creatures.
I know, even the premise is funny.
Then we got Downsizing.
I love
2017.
downsizing.
Alexander Payne.
Yes.
Co-starring Matt Damon, Christoph Waltz,
And
Hong Chow.
yes.
I don't know who else is in it.
I love her.
So that's a woman? Okay. Budget was $68 million, and it made back 24. Social satire in which a man realizes he would have a better life if he were to shrink himself to 5 inches tall.
I loved it.
It looked interesting.
Mondo.
but I missed that one too. Like, no thanks.
It was a meh.
Mondo.
And then last we have Green Zone 2010.
Okay, Green Zone sucked.
All Greengrass. Starring Matt Damon, Greg Kinnear, and Brendan Gleeson.
Yeah, it was bad.
$100 million budget, and it made back about 35 mil. Discovering covert and faulty intelligence causes an army officer to go rogue as he hunts for weapons of mass destruction in an unstable region.
Yeah.
Isn't that like one of the 3 plots of the Bourne movies?
It's just bad.
This brings us to his latest collaboration
It was like Born Light.
his lame-o BFF Affleck, The Last Duel.
Oh, so
Budget was over $100 million, and it made 4.8 last weekend.
yeah, we're in COVID
You
times.
can blame some of that on COVID, but theaters are fully open now. I mean, Halloween made like 50 mil. Maybe people saw the trailer and decided to avoid it. I sure wish
Maybe 'cause
I
they-
had.
It's maybe because they knew it was going to be awful.
Exactly.
And it was.
It was good.
I'm sure Damon will bounce back in his next movie. Hopefully, I convinced you to not just go blindly to any movie that Damon or Affleck are in, because they make a lot of crap.
What?
All I got.
I liked most of those. There's 2 that weren't
Yes,
so
not
good.
surprising.
A couple of Mondos in there.
The audience doesn't think
a
so.
There's a lot of meh, I think, in that.
Yeah, there
to
was.
be quite honest.
There was.
To be quite honest. So we have to make an announcement because,
Yeah, I'm
We
not
may have to
interested in this. I don't
rethink-
understand what you're talking about.
well, okay, so Bryce put Christopher Walken on the mesmerizing list, and he's been off for quite some time.
Oh, has he?
What?
Yeah, he was removed because he was in the movie 9 Lives, which is the worst movie ever made, in my opinion. And under the thou shalt take Kevin Spacey off mesmerizing because he was in, what was that terrible movie again? David Gale or something like that?
The Life of David Gale.
Right. So you removed Spacey, so I had to remove Christopher Walken
I don't
off
remember
of
that.
the list.
Did you really?
Yeah. Yeah, I did a long time ago.
I thought Bill Murray was in
that-
9 Lives.
No. Well, maybe. I forget. But Christopher Walken was definitely in it. He was definitely the best thing in it. But to your rule, you cannot be mesmerizing if you're in the worst movie ever. It's just a rule.
That's a rule.
So yes. So the question we have to pose is if we go back in time to last week, because he's not mesmerizing,
Well, then we gotta
couldn't technically take out Johnny Depp. But Johnny Depp was so terrible, we should just remove him because he was so awful in that movie. It's like proved that he's not mesmerizing.
Well, we can remove him right now by just. No, what are you talking about? What
So last week, when we removed Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
because we all agreed Christopher Walken was more mesmerizing,
Right.
except Christopher Walken isn't mesmerizing on our mesmerized list, so he can't take somebody out that isn't. But we still
But
could take Johnny
I've got a
Depp
whole
out.
list of movies that Christopher Walken you can just take people out left and right. Like we can get this list down to like 10.
Except Christopher Walken isn't mesmerizing anymore.
Well, this is crap. How am I going to get this
Yeah.
list down if I don't have Christopher Walken to be knocking people out left and right?
Well, now we only have 2 people to vote on.
Like
for
I
this week.
seriously have a whole list of movies where I can knock out like 30 people.
Yeah, I know.
But
You're gonna have to
they're
find.
They're all going up
somebody
against Christopher Walken.
And
Yeah.
now
And I
we've
guarantee
gotta
we're all
talk
going to go
about-
Walken every time, but apparently he's not on the
I'm
mesmerizing
sorry.
list. I don't remember any of this.
Yeah, well, Kevin Spacey should also be on the mesmerized list, but
No,
apparently
he was
can't
in The
be
Life
on.
of David Gale.
And Christopher Walken was in 9 Lives. There we go.
Yeah, but
So-
they're two different types of movies. 9
Doesn't
Lives was
matter.
supposed
One
to be
is-
funny. You give
Murray
comedy slack.
Murray also can have his
Comedies
least favorite
get slack.
movie.
You get slack with
What's that?
comedies. You get slack with
No.
comedies. You do. You get a little slack.
It's a
When you're making
No.
a serious movie like
No.
Life of
No.
David Gale and it ends up being so stupid, it's enraging, then there's no excuse for that. If you're just
No,
trying to be
that's-
funny
it's-
and you miss the
it's not
mark,
a rule. No,
Fun-
it's-
funny's
it's
in the
not a
eye of the
rule.
beholder.
No,
so you can be
He's
forgiven
gone.
for funny.
no, he's off. Unfortunately, he can't unmake that movie.
But it was a
and he did.
comedy.
So now we only have to decide between William H. Macy and Morgan Freeman. But do you want to double check to make sure Morgan Freeman's even on our mesmerizing list? Or did you just imagine that he was on our list?
I have no idea.
You should probably know who's on our list.
Oh,
before
you
we
guys been
start
updating him?
removing
Because I just went by whatever was on the website.
Yeah, website says Morgan Freeman, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now, but it was when I printed it off.
There you go.
But so was Christopher Walken.
So he
No,
was on
Christopher
at one
Walken
point,
is
right?
not.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
when I
they
printed
both
it
were.
off. When I printed it off, he was on.
There you go. Murray has confirmed that he was on.
So maybe it's an error on the website.
There's like 9,000 names on it.
Yeah.
And now apparently I can't knock any of them out because
No,
some
Morgan
stupid-
Freeman is not on our mesmerized list. What are you talking about?
Sure he is.
Look at our website.
You're making up stuff now.
Well, then why? We can't even debate this week then.
What are we debating?
We could put Morgan Freeman on the
The movie
list.
you gave
and
us
then we can
last
vote
week.
him.
What did we do?
You guys said it was all. There was 3 of them on there.
Who?
I don't know. I don't have it with me. The
Didn't we already do Maidenhouse?
Christopher
no, the
Walken.
Heist. No, that's this week.
Oh, is it?
Yes. And you just said Christopher Walken is no longer on there. Morgan Freeman isn't on there. Then
Yeah.
Macy wins by default.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Apparently,
This is so
apparently,
complicated. Okay,
Yeah,
I,
it's
I,
not-
think,
it's-
I think we have to
it's
go
not
through this
that-
list again and just.
it's not that complicated. You just have to.
I
want to
re-vote on the list. I want to. No, I want
do it
to.
right now.
I want to re-vote on the list. I want to take next week. I want to take like 7-8 minutes where we all just say the name, and bang bang boom, we say yay or nay.
It has
Because
to be
I have a
unanimous.
feeling if we go back over this list again, we might not.
It has to be unanimous.
Because it's being
The
yeah.
list is
Wow.
yeah. So we're gonna lose a lot because we put a lot of these on.
Well, I wasn't
Murray
around.
here.
So I don't even know who
Yes,
the hell they are.
But Murray, you can't judge them based on TV shows. You
No.
have to judge them
On
based on
movies I've
movies.
seen that I like or don't like them in. Like
There you
guys
go.
do.
Well, it doesn't even matter if you like the movie. It's whether you find the actor mesmerizing.
Yeah,
You got to
unless it's
differentiate.
the worst movie ever
Anyway,
made.
so we're not
Unless
doing
it's
that
the
this
worst
weekend?
movie ever made.
Anyways, this is making me sad.
So move on.
Yeah,
Then?
it's making me sad that I had to watch that terrible movie that you told us to
How
watch.
bad was it, eh? I knew it was
so
awful.
bad.
I remember how bad it was, and then I watched it again. I was like, oh, I didn't remember how bad it was because it's even worse. Oh,
But,
it's awful.
Okay, so William H. Macy was definitely by far the most mesmerizing. The other two were just
Oh,
duds.
no. Christopher Walken.
So,
Oh, he was awful.
What are you talking about? So who did you... Morgan Freeman, Murray's got. So apparently we all
They would have all
disagreed.
stayed, but they're
They
all
would've stayed,
gone to William H. Macy
All right,
anyway.
so they all stay. So Morgan Freeman and Christopher Walken are on the mesmerized list. Done.
Nope,
No, they're
they are not on the mesmerized list.
But
so
we
they're
all
not.
disagreed.
nice try.
That means they're still
But
on.
They have to be on the list in the first place.
Whatever.
Well, this was just the best list episode
Wasn't
ever.
it? All right, let's move on.
Rage or
So
dare.
next week we're going to go through the entire list and blast
Sure.
through it.
Okay, let's do that.
And
Bing, bang,
next
boom.
week.
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay next
right.
week, people.
All right then.
Murray's going to be the big veto.
Yeah,
That's right.
Let's just, I don't ca- at this point. I don't care. I'm gonna be sad afterwards because Murray's gonna get rid of a bunch of people that we got on just because he wasn't here.
Yep.
But whatever.
Try to sneak
That's
it
the
past
rules.
me.
Yeah, I'm sure you're looking at the list and going, "Oh man,
He has to.
they're
if
gone.
he takes
They're
somebody,
gone. They're gone."
If he takes somebody off the list, though, he has to tell us which movies he
Which
saw
movie?
them in.
Okay,
Yes.
I will do that.
It's got to be an educated veto.
Mm-hmm.
That's what.
Yes.
I'm always
So you can't just
educated.
veto because you don't like their
Because it's Ben
name or
Affleck?
what they look like or where they're from. You have to have seen movies with them in.
All right. And I don't have to see all their movies though, because that's
No,
not going to
no.
happen.
No, just have to see enough to know that they're
All right.
mesmerizing or not.
All right then.
This is going to be so exciting. I think we should just do that for our whole episode next week.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim and Bryce pulled a comedy with Tommy Lee Jones. Apparently that's a thing. When they pulled Man of the
It's
House
actually kind of funny.
from my creamy ice bucket of rage. This week, Bryce rides the rage train alone. Let's check in with him to see if he also needed to use subtitles to understand what Tommy Lee's saying. Or was it so funny that he didn't even need them? Say you.
I don't know. Man of the House, 2005. You know what? It opened up. There was so much action that they actually had to do like a split screen. Did you see that? It was like the first
Oh,
5,
I will
6,
talk
7
about that
minutes.
for sure.
It's just like there's too much action to contain in one shot. They had to like do like 7 minutes straight of split screen. I mean, what an awesome start to this movie. I could hardly contain my excitement as I darted my eyes back and forth between the tremendous amount of ridiculousness what was going on. Yeah, Texas Ranger must, he's protecting a group of cheerleaders that like witnessed a murder. Is that what? That's what it was. It was dumb.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, no, I watched it. Hey, I knew about the split screen. Don't get that off of IMDb.
Did you fall asleep before?
I watched this at about 11 a.m. and I was wide awake, unfortunately. Because had I fallen asleep, this would have been one of those times where I would not have rewound it and watched it again. I would have said, yeah, I saw it. But I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. I would have admitted it to not seeing it. I'm just babbling because there's nothing here. It's Tommy Lee Jones. We get Cedric Entertainer was actually mildly amusing in this. Sorta as amusing as he can be. Anytime I get to see Ann Archer, she played Professor Molly McCarthy. I love Ann Archer. Just seeing her was kind of nice. Her role was like nothing, but I liked seeing her, liked hearing her voice. She's pleasant. I enjoyed her. Arlie Ermy is always awesome as Captain Nichols. He was in it for like 2 minutes, but those were 2 good minutes. So I don't
It's
know.
Mondo.
You get Shea Wiggum as Ranger Holt, a very young Shea Wiggum here. He is what he is. He's always good. It's like there's some quality actors in here, and of course you got Tommy Lee Jones, but then you got a bunch of these girls that they were all so annoying. Was I supposed to sympathize with them? I don't know what I was supposed to do.
No, I believe you wanted to see them all dead.
Oh, then maybe that's I missed the point. Maybe. So yeah, this was a rage, and that was my finest review ever.
That was the best review you've ever done. So the first thing that I need
There
to
was
say,
so much action, and they did have split screen.
yeah, there was, that I did not need subtitles for the entire movie, because apparently Tommy Lee Jones didn't need them.
Nah, when he gets older, then he.
But the second thing of note is that Tommy Lee Jones is also not funny. The third thing of note
Didn't he say
is-
one thing?
is yuck. Is
Yuck.
this movie's yucky? And what the fuck is with the split screen at the beginning?
It was gave us something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, okay. So initially I was like, hey, what's going on? But after I started thinking about it, it doubled up the shots and got the movie over faster. So that was good. So let's recap the good things in this movie. Number one, Tommy Lee Jones spoke perfectly enunciated English for most of the movie. The times that I didn't understand him, it wasn't really that important what he was saying. Number two, why am I stuck on this about number two? Number two.
Because it was poopy.
Number two. Oh, sorry. Right. Number two. This film is a number two, as you said, Bryce. Right. Split screen sped up this film, which also made it end faster. That is another good thing that happened in this. And that is it. Oh, wait. There was one good song. But otherwise, this film was painful to watch. In the first 15 minutes, you knew exactly everything that could or would or did happen. But you just had to wait till it all happened. But the dialogue was so completely awful, the masochist in me was taking deep, penetrating pleasure from every torturous, painful line struck against my consciousness. Ooh. Ooh. I have what Bryce was having. The complete and full masochist in the relationship that our dominatrix and sadist in this dual-sided S&M relationship, Murray, you should be needing to clean up your underwear with the amount of pleasure, the sadistic torture you inflicted on us. You must be just had a major joygasm.
I believe
Murray,
that was the point.
You always give us a good time. Because apparently Bryce and I are masochists, and you are the saddest in this relationship. Was it as good for you as it was for me? Because there was so much rage for a full hour and 40 minutes. I was getting so much pleasure from this rage. It was so awful. I'm kidding. It was so painful to watch. Also of note, I can't understand why Tommy Lee Jones did this film, as he has no scruples. But R. Lee Emery,
Yeah.
he's done Kubrick. I
know.
thought you would make better choices.
But it was fun seeing him. I like seeing him.
It was.
I wish
He's
I saw
the
him in a
best.
bit different movie, but
I went and saw Stanley Kubrick's war movie right after I watched this, just to get that movie out
Cleanse
of
your
my
palate.
head. Yeah, it was so good, and he was awesome in it.
yes.
It was awful. All right, well, what's Bryce going to have to watch next week?
What?
Yeah,
No, I think it's
listening?
your turn next week.
Mm-mm. It's not. Oh, wait, what does he got to pull from her? Is he going
I don't know.
Darebag or...
This is Rise of Rage
Jim's-
Train.
I don't really care. You choose, Mur. What should I go with?
Darebag.
Darebag.
Oh, it could be a pleasure experience.
He says
He
Darebag.
does like a lot of them, apparently.
All right, here we go. So this is a fan bag. Is that the truth? Am I
Yes.
speaking the truth here?
Yep.
That is what it says.
Hey,
in the
Murray,
front.
confirm that I have one thing in my hand.
Sure.
And it is... Already seen it. Haven't I?
What is it?
I don't
Maybe
know.
not. Leonard Part 6. Didn't I already watch it? Or am I confusing it with Pluto Nash?
Might have been Pluto Nash.
What was it? Number 6? What?
Leonard
Leonard-
6 wasn't
Leonard
Leonard
Part
6,
6,
Bill Cosby.
No, you have not seen Leonard
Pluto
Part
Nash was
6.
Eddie Murphy.
You have not seen
Leonard Part
it.
6 was Bill Cosby back in his heyday.
It's good. All right. I gotta watch this with
This-
Yes, you do.
So, I mean, I don't know. How can I objectively watch this after all the Bill Cosby crap?
Well, that's going to be a challenge for next
It'll be a
week's
challenge.
episode. But
Okay.
we can say, hey, you kids, get out of that Jello tree.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Some super rage love to our members, Julene from It Goes Down in the PM podcast, James and Philip for their continued financial and moral support. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon, Dex Goose, Tony, and Nat for their artistic contributions to our show. You can find their homes on our show notes. Thanks for our sponsor, Canyon Meadows Cinema. Please go and support your local independent cinemas near you as they desperately need your help as we come out of COVID. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Film Rage YYC. Follow us on Audea, AUDEA.io, and search Film Rage YYC for bite-sized film reviews. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for our Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send an email to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare to see terrible movies to feel our rage, but no matter what you do, please make us rage, because we love it, because we're masochists. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on.